Hey everyone, it's your boy Gotham City back at you again. I want to say thank you to everyone for checking me out, the videos, the shorts, all the new subscriber base. I want to say thank you to everyone for being a subscriber to the channel. If you not noticed, I got my new double dragon, or my new double dragon marquee. It's shining now, so let's get to it. What's on my mind right now? I think it's a time crisis. I think the whole community has been speaking about the time crisis as far as what is going on, as far as the price of the cab. I think 750 is a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna go and get it. I was definitely gonna go and purchase it so I could do a review. I have never done a review before, and even though I have a bunch of cabinets of my own, I just never done it. So, but I was like, $750 is a little bit too much for to do a review. And we already seen Kong's. He's already done a review already. He's already done the specs and he's already ahead of the game. I noticed we have our brothers down in Australia. They're getting cabs now. So really, honestly, I'll just wait until next year and then we'll just go from there. As far as everything else, I think I want to talk about what's going to happen next year. I think that's where my mindset, because this year's over. Even though there is speculation that Mortal Kombat 2, the deluxe, coming out next year. What's going on, Constorm? G.I. Joe is getting, let's see. G.I. Joe is getting a new PC game. Pac-Man XL is out of Costco for 600. Rumors of a Class of 81 is next. Well, the G.I. Joe is great, but I would love to see it to come to Arcade1up or whoever. The Pac-Man XL, I seen your I think you did a post. I seen it yesterday, and I posted after I saw it on Facebook. I noticed that everybody else was posting the same picture. And the Class of 81, I've never been a big fan of it. I have two Miss Pac-Man cabinets. I have the Wave 4 one, and then I have this one right here, the 30th anniversary. I've never really been a fan of the Class of 81. I just remember being in a laundromats everywhere, so I really don't have no nostalgia for that cab. But I mean, happy to everybody that wants it, go and get it. But honestly, at the end of the day, I feel personally for me, I think that we just got the Class of 81 and now we're getting a deluxe. I think we're just going in circles. I really want new stuff right now. It's up on the Arcade1up app right now. It's on the 1UP app now to the PMXL anyway. Yeah, but like I said, I want new stuff. I want new stuff. This year has been a complete bust for what it is. I'm happy for all the new people that's hopping in the community, but this is where it should have been at from the beginning. I personally, in my mind, I'd rather just wait to see what new stuff come out next year. I'm waiting with the whole community going down to Cleveland. What new stuff is coming in the community next year? Hopefully there'll be some reason for me to be happy or be excited, because right now I'm not. I think the last two, I think I did a last posting. I was supposed to get a Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 and wound up getting a Pac-Man. Which Pac-Man I got? The one with the Pac-Man Plus. I wound up giving it away to my neighbor. I gave it to my godson's father. I gave it to him. He came over, he got it the same day. I gave it away. That was it. I wasn't impressed with it. I already have 3 other Pac-Mans already. I didn't need a 4th one. I need new stuff. I need something to be excited for. I would love to see Daytona. I think Sega is the reason. I think we need more Sega titles. I mean, Nintendo is not going to let none of their titles out, but I would love to see some Sega stuff that was in the arcade, an Afterburner, a Daytona. I would love to see that. I would love to see Pole Position. I would love to see Tekken. I would love to see Soul Calibur. I want to see those games in here. Let's see. Here's a big one. Huge rumor. Smash TV is supposed to come out this fall. Was laid into 2024, possibly CES 24 reveal. Oh wow! Oh, that might be awesome. You might want to do a video on that, brother. You might want to do a video on that. I mean, you need to do one. Because my editing skills is not great yet. So, but if you got some info, you need to put that in the video so I could definitely watch the video, because I think that'll be interesting. I mean, if it's Smash TV, then I think Michael B getting his Robotron variant. It would be great if they did that, because they did that with the Yoga Flame and a Shiniku, a Duke version. So to have two cabinets with two different artworks, that might work, because the Turtle Street Fighter did very well. So if Arcade1up could do that, I think that cabinet will sell really well. I would get the Smash TV because I never played Robotron. I played Smash TV, so I would more likely gear more towards Smash TV if I actually got my hands on the cabinet. But if it's supposed to drop this fall, I'm in. I'm definitely in. I would definitely be the first one out the gate to get one. Now, my usual is to get at least 2 reliable sources before making major news bulletin is posted. If it can't get an FCC listing, I will sue the news. Okay, I understand that makes total sense. I truly understand that. I really do understand that, because you definitely want reliable sources to basically advocate for the post. I truly understand that, and they taught us that. When I went to college, you don't never believe what one source say. You need to have a following source to back it up. So I truly understand. I would definitely get that. I mean, still the year has been boring. I mean, Fast and Furious, I do want to get one. I want to get 2 of them, but not at the current price. I'll probably wait. If I miss out entirely for it, oh well, I'm not going to trip. I still got Ridge Racer and Outrun in the back, so I'm not really worried about it. I would love to see some new fighting cabs coming in the midst, other than Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, but we haven't even got a Street Fighter cab this year. We haven't got one. We have one from last year that came into this year, but we haven't got no new variants. So I would love to see a new Street Fighter cab. Hopefully it'll be Street Fighter 3 or Street Fighter Alpha. I would love to see one of the two to make their introduction. But the only Mortal Kombat I want to see is MK4. We already got 1, 2, and 3. We had 2 new variants of 2. I mean, how many times are you going to make Mortal Kombat 2? I understand they're trying to milk the license. The Street Fighter 2 CES 5 Deluxe is a thing. Yeah, I seen the cab. I love the dynamo look of the cab. I do. I enjoy it. I think it's a great cab. But we're still, like, these are the cabs that should have been done at the beginning. Like, they should have did these at the beginning. I still got the OG Street Fighter in the house. Yes, it has a garbage speed. It has one mono sound. It has the ultra bright screen. It has crappy controls, no light up marquee, which I replaced it. I understand that, but I would have loved to have seen a dynamo from the beginning. If the cab gets like $250, I will go out there and buy it. Will I get rid of my Gent one? No, I probably just slide it right next to it just to have 2 of them. But at the end of the day, I think the community is definitely talking about what we want as far as new cabs. I'm glad that for the community as a whole, we're getting new people to jump into the market space. But at the same time, you are hurting the diehards, the whales, the OGs that's been in this field from the beginning. I'm one of them. Because if you not notice, on the far end is a 12-in-1. It's still a unicorn. I still got that cab to this very day, and it works. It works perfectly. All I did was update the marquee. I put the GR spinner and the GR trackball that Glenn had on his channel. I put it in. The cab works great now. But for me to upgrade, I didn't go to the Tempest. I didn't get Centipede. I would love to see a missile command that is posted on the screen. So if they came out with that variant with online specs, like even with the leaderboards, I'm down. I will definitely go and get it. Will I replace that one with that? No, I'll just have two different ones. It just have two different skins. So when people come in my house to play them, they're looking at what's on the marquee. They're not looking at the games list, because even though some with the original Wave 2 12-in-1, and it has a games list on the bottom of the cab, I understand that. What's going on console? Let's see. Arcade1up does the Galaxy XL for 24. It needs the party game listing. I will not expect anything else at this point. I agree. I agree with that. That's the reason why I'm taking it to Defender Partycade, and I'm actually going to take that PCB and that screen and add it to the Mortal Kombat Legacy, the first one, and I'm just going to reskin it and add the PCB and all that and just make a Defender, because that games list that came in the Partycade is way better than the one that came in the 3/4 scale. I kid you not. They don't even realize how much money they're leaving on the table by not adding these new game lists to the new versions of the Legacy cabinets, because that will keep the Legacy cabinets keep flying off the shelf. If you have not noticed, everybody that's in the community that's going to be watching this video on the rerun, how many Mortal Kombat 2 Legacies and Mortal Kombat Legacies and the Street Fighter Legacies are still out there on sale on pallets? They haven't even removed those yet. I think that's the crazy thing. They oversaturated the whole marketplace with them, and they still haven't moved them. You know, there is a Defender cab right now. Yeah, sure, the games list suck out. Yeah, but that's the reason why. Well, the Defender 3/4 scale is sold out everywhere. You cannot find it. And that games list is the Mortal Kombat games list from that cab. What I did is I'm going to take the PCB board out of the Defender Partycade and put it in the MK2 Legacy, because I wasn't able to find a Defender 3/4 scale. So all I'm going to do is reskin it. I got a new lighter marquee that's en route, and I'm going to add it to, and then that's going to be my Defender 3/4 scale with the Defender Partycade's game list. So that way, that's the actual variant. So that way, the control schemes will actually match Sinistar and all the other games that's on that list. That would make more sense. The way they did the Defender 3/4 scale, it was actually catered to Mortal Kombat, not to Defender. The Partycade was a Defender's game list. The controls matched the games that were in the cab. So that's the reason why I'm doing it that way. So I really want to see new stuff right now. I think this year was a total loss to all the diehards, for all the new people that's hopping in it. Kudos to them. I'm happy for them. But they could have mixed it up, gave some new stuff with the old stuff, and that would have kept the community vibing at this point. They just basically left us. They didn't really care for us too much. Like this year, it wasn't about the people that was with them for the last 3-4 years. This was all about bringing new people in, which I truly understand. I think the Miami thing where they had the trailer down there was pretty cool. We did see a Double Dragon that never came to fruition. I would have loved to see that. Okay, what's up, One Up Underground? What's up, my brother? 2023 One Up rehashes for 3 reasons. 1, to stack money and put it towards more powerful chipsets. 2, they want to have their titles all confirmed to the new riserless cabinets, and 3 new customers. I agree. I agree with that. Brother, I truly agree with you, and I'm not knocking it. And yes, I got to stack up a lot of money, but this is a hobby that we all want to hop into. We all want to stick with. And there's new game titles that we all want to see. Like, I would love to see Afterburn. I think that's like on my top 5 right now. I mean, even though I got my original top 5 in my first 3 waves, but I would have loved to see the new stuff that would have kept it coming. More photos are popping up of the XLs. Look great. Yeah, but I think everybody's all about size. Now, my thing is, okay, this is the thing with the XLs. You're talking about putting an XL cabinet in your house. That is 2 cabinets. So let's say I got rid of all the cabinets that are behind me. I would only be able to stack 3 cabinets. So that would be 3 cabinets that I would actually want. What would I want to change out for an XL? I think Golden Axe, I would love to see that in XL. If it had online features, I would definitely change that out. The original Turtles with the original artwork, I would change that out. I would love to see Outrun come back out in the XL. Then that would be kind of great. A 19-inch screen, a little bit bigger. Yes, I would, and with better pedals and a better shifter, and maybe and the rumble steering wheel. Now that would go hard for me. I will definitely sell out my original Outrun for that. Now that would get my money. I would definitely chase those 3. So if you could do that, if Arcade1up could do that, then we're definitely on a playing field with the same thing. But other than that, I don't see me swapping out, trying to get a bigger Miss Pac-Man or a bigger Pac-Man cabinet like the new Pac-Mans that's in Costco right now. I'm not changing my OG one out for that. It makes no sense. Even though it has a better screen, it has a 19-inch screen, it's much bigger, better speakers, but it's a legacy stuff. Turtles was supposed to be an XL at some point, but one-up is being weird about it. Yes, that is the Nickelodeon thing. That you got to understand. There's a conflict with that right now. Yep, I think Turtles will be my first 4-player XL and buy it for me. I mean, I agree. I mean, and like I said, I would want. Like I said, Turtles will be a great cab to start. I think that's what the whole community wants. Like, if you bring out that, you can still bring out the same 2 games. It's still got online play. It would be great if they add Shredder Revenge to it. That cab would fly off the shelves. You might as well they could just print money all year. That cab would do really well coming out the gate. And long as that cab stayed at around like that 600 or 650 price point, it would work. At least when John D was there, yeah, that's true. That's true. But we can't go backwards because John D has basically left the company. I would hope that Cyrus and the rest of the people at the company, it has a plan going into next year. That's all I'm hoping. Like, cause I've been in the military and I see people come and go that were great. They did great things, and then people left. The ship has the cogs in the machine still got to move forward. Even if they're not there, you can remember the great things the person brought to the company, or to the industry. But right now, John D is out, and wherever his next endeavor takes him, I wish him the best. But right now, Cyrus is in the forefront. Like I said, if they push Shredder's Revenge, that will be the grail. I kid you not. That would be phenomenal for them to have that game added onto it. I'm going to give Cyrus a shot and give him a chance. Please do. I think Cyrus hasn't been in the forefront like John D. When John D came on, John D gave us those golden nuggets, and we were able to figure out things. Cyrus is a little bit more secretive. I think for us to be more surprised, it's great. I mean, I kind of like the fact that we had hints all year, so it was a lot more speculation videos. Everybody was on YouTube more often. It was a more conversation. Honestly, big expectations for him in one of 2024 will make or break them. Yeah, I agree. I think this is where I'm sitting at as well. I don't like the fact that they changed who's gonna do the one-up show. Like I like Michael B. I think he's a decent content creator, but he has shown shilling over the years. I'm just not gonna lie about it. He has, and then when I'm more watching, the more it shows. I like Khan's. I think Khan should have went in by himself. I think he should have been the advocate for the community right after. Or I would have liked to see Console Kids. I would have liked to see Console Kids as well as Retro Ralph have been the voice for the community. But that didn't happen. And they had it fallen out 2 years ago. So, but I would have liked to have seen Khan doing it by himself because I think honestly, it would have been great. But honestly, if the prior person that did the one-up, I'd have picked new members from the community. Like, let's see, who are new? Biggie D, I'd have probably picked. Or Mr. Home Arcade. Or Kong Storm, I would have probably picked. Maybe Brother, One-Up Underground, I'd have picked. Who else? There's a lot of PD7. I would have picked a whole new energy going into the new year instead of picking people that's already been in the community for the last 5 years. We need new voices, new energy. I'm not saying I'd have been the perfect choice. I still have a lot to learn about the community. My subscriber base is rising every day because I do a lot of shorts, not because of the content I built, but I see other members that are at 1,000 that have new energy. I think they should have been more into the new direction of Arcade1up as a whole. So to me, to have Michael be there and he's been there forever, I'm not agreeing with that. And as cool as it would be to host that, Console doesn't even have 1,000 there. No way they would do that. I disagree. I think you would have got 1,000 really quick because that have brought that would have said that one-up, Arcade1up is backing you. So now everybody has to focus on you now because I've seen a lot of content creators come in, hop on different shows like Mo, I see Mo actually come in and only had like 300. Now he got like 2,000 because it takes a certain type of support to back you. So being at the forefront and now everybody's seeing you, but you don't really put your face, but your voice is what carries the show. I think that would have been a great turn to shift everything. And then I would have gave a different energy because Console, I love your content. I enjoy your content. I really do. But I think that would have got you well over 1,000 fast. You might have got 1,000 within a week. You would have got 1,000 subscribers within a week. I know that because I have seen it done in this community where new people hop in, they get backed by certain individuals, and they get 1,000 really fast. When you don't get that support, or you don't get like certain people to hop on your show and they are actually co-signing you as the next new thing, then more likely it takes you a lot longer to get to 1,000 subscribers. So, Constorm, I kid you not, if I had 1,000, I would support your content every day of the week because I love your content. But I think it's all about who co-signs who in the community. And the fact is that you don't shield as hard as some individuals. That's why it's taking you a lot longer to get there. And One-Up Underground can agree with what I'm saying as well because we kind of came in at the same time. But I love the way he do his content. But I'm not on a similar scale as him. I do something totally different. So we kind of bounce off each other, like different energies. But your energy, the way you do business, I think you'd have got 1,000 really, really fast. What else I want to talk about in the community that I have been seeing lately? I just right now, I feel at this time, I want to see new stuff. I don't want to see a lot of old stuff. You know, we have seen the Double Dragon cab that didn't come and play track and field. We didn't see that one. They need that. They need to have their own type of 6 months E3 Evo type announcements and or release to allow a roadmap and allow them to focus on the releases to satisfy the diehards and the OGs. I agree, but that's what I was going. That's what I was saying at the beginning of my video. There was a roadmap. The last time we got a roadmap, Time Crisis was the last cabin. It took 2 years to come out. We haven't got a roadmap since then. Those leaks what kept the community interested, so that way everybody saved their money up for that. Do you think we will ever get a Daytona? I think Daytona is en route. They know Daytona is what everybody wants. My question is, with the way they did Fast and Furious, will they destroy Daytona? Now, Daytona only has three tracks based on 3 skill levels. And there is not much you can add to that game. Now, you can put Daytona Part 2 to it, but that is all according to the chipset. My thing is that cab has to be linkable, and you have to have racing online. That's the only way that cab actually moves. Now, with Fast and Furious, they show that you can race online with each other, so that the tech is there and the software is there. However, everybody wants to be able to sit at this cabinet because I play Daytona standing up. So would I get 4 Daytona standing up? I would probably do 2 and 2. But I would have to, but my thing is, how would you do the seated version knowing they messed up Star Wars when it was seated and Outrun when it was seated? If we ever stream, it will be for the next XL, and I have a GoPro now to go now, so I got a camera that is better designed for it. Okay, well, let me know when you're ready. I mean, I tend to pop up every once in a while because my schedule, because I work here in Texas, I'm actually an aide to a senator here, so my schedule is kind of like crazy, and I would hope. I don't know whether I'm going to be home for most of the fall or the winter time, so I do pop up from time to time. But I do have you on IG, so when I do pop up, we can link up together. And as far as the races go, Daytona is probably the most likely, but Hydro Thunder is mine. I never played Hydro Thunder. Everybody keep talking about it. I haven't came across it, but I will be in Austin the second week, and they do have a barcade out there. So I probably wind up going there and see if they got a Hyper Thunder, so I can basically play for the first time. Hopefully release. Okay. I got to go back to work later. Take care, Consort. We'll talk. But I'm just going back to 1UP. I feel like I think that for all of us, we do need a roadmap to everything we do. But I feel that the roadmap will allow the audience and the community to actually understand what is coming. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think Arcade1up just need to have transparency. Like, okay, we're working on all these cabs. There are going to be some glitches. Going to be some. Hopefully, they said they got new buttons and sticks for this year. And this is what's coming. Soul Calibur, Tekken, Outrun. No, not Outrun, sorry. Daytona, Afterburn. You know, hopefully we'll see some 80s titles like Pole Position, you know, or Sinistar or Gorf. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll get some new releases. Maybe they'll redo Turtles again. Maybe they'll do Golden Axe again. Maybe they'll do X-Men in a 6-player format. That because 19K Fox said they actually made that variant and they actually made it with a 25-inch screen in it. So maybe that will come in play at some point. I would hope that Arcade1up is paying attention to their audience, because the diehards is the ones that sitting in it, like One Up Underground, myself, and others that basically been in it. But I have noticed a lot of the community has been selling off their cabinets. Like, this is the thing I have noticed, like Michael B had a bunch of cabinets and he basically got rid of a bunch of them. Now he's considered himself a pinball channel of all things, which is weird. But then if they do pop up with all these new cabs, why should he get new cabs when he's getting rid of them? All he's doing is basically like capitalizing off the energy. Like if I did the show, I wouldn't even ask for a new cab. I wouldn't. And even if I did get a new cab and I did a review, I would basically just give it away, because I would more likely want to support the company by buying the cabinet, because I know that I don't want to be called the shill for this community. However, some people don't have a problem calling that. They try to laugh it all like it's funny. And I know for me being in the military, that's not a cool energy. Like to be known as an ass kisser or get on your knees type shit. No, I'm not with all that. I'm not with all that. And I kid you not, your integrity and your character means everything when you're in front of people. You can't call yourself a man when you basically doing whole ass shit. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm not with all that. I'm not knocking him for the content creator he is, because he's a great content creator and I do enjoy watching his videos. But as a person, you have to question where his morals is at. And me personally, I'm not with all that. I'm not here to shame the man, but you got to look at his videos. He kind of tells on himself personally. But when it comes to the roadmap situation, I would love to see another roadmap of what we get. But this year, for 2023, was one of the worst years I've seen from Arcade1up. And then see IRK basically die out and go away and disappear. And then we are going to see some at-game news with their 4K stuff, which is going to be great. I don't honestly say this was a great year for the home arcade community as a whole. I don't think it's a great year for us. I hope next year will be better. I would hope for all our sakes, for the 60,000 people that is between Glenn and the Arcade1up's fan group pages combined, I would hope that we will see more stuff, because we want to support Arcade1up. I'm not here to shame Arcade1up. I'm just hoping they're listening to all of us as a collective group, because we do want new games. I would love new calves. I would love to move some of these calves out, put a whole new lineup of stuff. I have a whole room full of them. But personally, I would love to see what's that new company that's coming to play? They make the 1/16 scale cabinets. They're thinking about hopping in it. Let's see who's let's see. Give me a second, everybody. I'm doing some internet magic. Let's see. There's a company that's supposed to be coming with new toys. Yeah, New Wave toys. Thank you for that, Nick. Yes. The New Wave toys is supposed to be bringing out their, hopefully, their 3/4 scale. Now, the question is the price, how many games? Now, for me, if they stay in the 80s genre, they're going to kill it with everybody. I know for me personally, I am looking for a lot more 80s games. I am. However, the question is the price value of the games. Now, they said they got some license of their own. And hopefully, it will put a fire under Arcade1up where we can start seeing better cabinets. Maybe the price will drop a little bit, maybe $100. I know it's not a lot. I know inflation is killing us, but I would love the price point to stay between $500 and $600. I would love to see the deluxe at $499. I would love to see the XLs at $599. If we can keep it around that and we don't get no pros, I think the community will be happy with that as a whole going forward. But then New Wave Toys coming in and they have an exact replica of a cabinet. I think that'll it will do damage, especially if it's games that Arcade1up hasn't brought out. And then you don't have to go on main and put it in your At Games Legends. They're gonna get a piece of the market space, because I know for me personally, I'm always intrigued about a new company hopping in it. Like, if you not noticed, I got an iArcade, I got some Arcade1up, I got a Unico NVXX, I got an At Games Legends on the side. I even got some Gottlieb pinball machines. I got all the companies that have been running out there. I'm definitely a diehard for the community. I'm not a diehard Arcade1up. I'm a diehard home arcade collector. I want to see it, because when I got people coming to my house, they're running to these cabs. They're running to certain cabs. I know what cabs work. Now, I know over time, some cabs will be disappearing because they just don't get enough playing time. Like Tron, for instance. I had Tron for like over a year. Tron is a beautiful cab. It is gorgeous. I put the flight stick from Glenn's store into it. It works. It probably only got touched twice. I think the cab looks pretty. It looks great. But I didn't play Tron in the arcade. I really did. And even if I did, it probably never blew me into it. I'm more of a racer. I'm more of a racer kind of kid. I'm more of the beat 'em ups. So those cabs attract me more. But there's a lot of beat 'em ups we haven't seen. We haven't seen Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. We haven't seen Sunset Rider. We haven't seen Moon Mesa. We haven't seen those type of games come up, because those are the cabs we all want to see, and we haven't seen them yet. I would love to see those games, but we haven't seen them. And the thing is, a Konami Legacy would have been great as a 4-player to bring all that. I think to do split artwork on the marquee and then have it on the rods, like both sides of the panels that have two different artworks where it has the Konami Legacy on it. I think that would have went. I think that would have sold out in seconds. A Data East Legacy, I would have loved to see one. Maybe RoboCop has the main game on it and then add attachable games. But I know RoboCop and the license, they're gonna want to do some BS like Terminator 2 and have a one game cab, which I think that would be garbage. I think everybody would wait for it to go on sale at $2.99 before they even buy it. So I think I would love to see Space Invaders. I think Space Invaders like to see a legacy for them. There's a lot of money on the table that they just leave it, and I know, the license to work with each other, and I think that's why John D was so great. But let's see, Stupid Fat Hobbit. Welcome to the cast. Thank you for showing up. What failed iArcade was the license. I agree. If the New Wave can do multi-caves with a better license and do the download model, it could work. I think that's where the conflict comes from. I don't think you could do both. I think you could do one or the other. You have to figure out what's gonna maximize the company. You got to think about it. Like I used to do retail. I used to be a general manager for Walmart. And you got to look at what your consumer base is going to advocate for. Price and what the product is. Now, let's take our Arcade1up and At Games. We have two companies that do two different things. But you notice At Games hasn't sold 1 million yet. But Arcade1up has. You got to look at what is going to be on your shelf and what is going to sell off fast. So my thing is, and we got to take the third perspective, if the company is going to sell it off their site. So they got to have warehouse space for it. So my thing is, if New Wave Toys decide to do it for their, if they have a warehouse space for it, they can probably pull it off to do both. But there's going to be a conflict of interest if you could download games into the cab that there's already have title games in it. Then who you're really paying? Because now you're asking the cabinet to be hacked with 10,000 games in it with a marquee game. Games would have did that already, but they couldn't, because now you have a conflict of interest with one and the other. So you have to pick your poison. Either you're going to go with a marquee game and add some games to it, or just add a game, or you just build a system and you just allow people to add their own software to it. So you have to figure out what is going to be more important to you as you're pushing the product out there in the masses. Me personally, I see what worked is what Arcade's model is already having the titles in it, because it allows you to turn on the system and play instantly. You got to understand, not everybody is software or mechanical savvy. Some of us are, most of us not. Because if you got a wife in the house and she's trying to figure out how to play, on a multi-game, she's trying to look through it, she is going to be frustrated in seconds after a while, because there's so many games. But if you got a cabinet that's set up like this Pac-Man right there on the side, and it just turns on, and you got a menu, and it already goes into the game already, and it's the main attraction to the game, that is what's going to sell right off the gate. So to me, I see what you're saying with iArcade, because yes, they failed because they didn't have the great titles, but the machine is great. The Black Edition Double Dragon I got is one of, it has good controls just like at games. However, when you think about games in general, I'd rather have the at games because I can add my titles to it. I can add what I want and play what I see fit, because iArcade don't serve that purpose. So even though you could download games, you don't want to like have 5 or 1,000 games in the machine. I think a good amount of games is great. I think the minimum amount of games you should have in a cabinet should be 4. The maximum amount of games you should have, I would say anywhere between 14 to 18 games maximum on the screen. So it allows you to basically move over and move the joystick over, so even a kid can figure it out. I think that's what we are not understanding about our market. Like, every company has a significant factor and has its own unique way of doing business. I think having more is better than having less. But I feel that with New Wave, I think if they hit towards the 80s and add maybe 1 or 2 games to their cab, I think they'll do perfectly fine. I don't think they'll be able to manufacture enough because of the quality. It's what I'm trying to figure out. What is the quality? Their little ones are great. Let's see. New Wave has to go through the borderline of AAA titles that Arcade1up has yet to release. Most of them belong to Konami, Sega, and Taito. Yes, I agree. If they do a Taito legacy, the question is, how many would you make? Super Fat Hobbit, how many would you make? If you were New Wave and you had a Taito legacy, and Space Invaders was your main marquee, and you added 14 games, how many cabs would you make? Because Sega has a more of a bigger fan base. Konami, everybody know Konami for them beat 'em up. But Taito they have titles, but they don't have the titles that probably not recognizable to everybody. So how many cabinets would you make? Because you gotta understand, you're basically, you're buying titles, you're building a cab, and then you have to market this cab. How many cabs would you make? Because I would say, damn, I don't have one. I would say 500 to start and see what we'll see where we're at. The gear, where's that? If it sells out, then you produce more. I would produce more. I would produce another 5. I would keep it very slow and steady. I think 5, 5, and 5, and that's it. I think 1,500, but 3 waves of it, I think that'd be perfectly fine. So I think to do what Arcade1up has been doing, what they did with the NFL Blitz, where they made like 60,000 of them things, and then they had to sell them for like $199 or $99. I think New Wave Toys will basically be out of business within 2 years if they go with that thought process. But I think to keep the quantity small and make the cabinets like a not a full afterthought, but to make them a more of a price, a more of a valuable commodity in the house, I think that'll work. I think just to keep the quantity small. Small is better. I know a lot of people might say, "Oh, they'll be pissed they didn't go and get it." But I think if they keep it $500, make $600, maybe 2 titles, I think they'll be perfectly fine. I think they'll be perfectly fine because they don't get rid of all the cabs. Now, if they have a hard time getting rid of the 500 cabs, that tells them to stop making that particular cab and move on to the next one. Move on. Because at that point, it makes no point to keep generating that cab when no one is buying, especially at that price point. I think it has to be something that everybody recognizes. Everybody's going to back it up and say, okay, maybe do a petition like, okay, we got 3 titles. We're thinking about doing it. Have everybody sign and maybe add, and then when like you get like 3,000 names on it, you ask like for a Kickstarter, maybe to have everybody like have a email request, have a link where you can put in $100 so your name will be on the list of you getting that cat. I think that'll be perfectly fine. I think the company will do perfectly fine. I think that's what Arcade1up should have done because they did it with Dragon's Lair. I think they did with Dragon's Lair. They had everybody sign a petition. They had 3,000 names. What their mistake was, and I think what they were doing at first, they were allowing people to put an initial payment on the cabinet for the cabinet, and that way when the cabinet debuted, then you had to send the rest of your money in, and then they had the money. So if they could do something like that, I think they'll win. I think Arcade1up kind of pushed themselves out of the race when they did that because they had something great, but they didn't follow up with it personally with me. But we have to wait and see. We're gonna wait until the whole half the home arcade community is going down to Cleveland. So we'll see what New Wave is popping up with. I'm hoping for something great. There's high expectations coming from the community. Arcade1up, I know they're going to be watching. I know At Games is going to be watching. So New Wave Toys is going to have to come through with something great out of the gate. I think that's where it's going to come. That's where it's going to come to. They have to come through something great out the gate. And I think the whole community will take notice. If the product is great and you should see some shilling, there will be a lot of great shilling. I think New Wave will have a great dominant year coming in 2024. As what they do the following year will say who they are in the community. Are they going to give Arcade1up a race, or they're going to just fall off like iArcade and Unico? Because everybody wanted another Unico cab. They just never came with one. But if you're looking at everybody's if you look at all my videos that I posted in my shorts, you notice MVSX is in damn near every video I got. So I'm hoping for the best that New Wave Toys have a great premiere and everybody say, oh, this is what I got to get my hands on. I'm with it. I'm about to get this paper, this cream, this cabbage, the De Niro, and that's it. I like to see New Wave Toys dip their hand into the virtual pen. Now, sir, we here with that. Yes, I definitely agree with you. There's so many pen tables that can be done and sold compared to the arcade games, which only has 12 to 15 titles left to make money. I agree with that. I do. I think Arcade1up left a lot of money when they didn't do the Universal table, the Universal pinball, or the Jaws, or Back to the Future. There were a lot of tables they could have got their hands on. Even though at games you could basically download their tables, but I think that what you're saying is that you want the visual effects of the table. When you walk up, you see a blaring Back to the Future or Alien versus Predator, or the old tables from the 70s and 80s that everybody is more aware of. I think you're absolutely right. Me, I never I just started getting into VPN because I'm not really a big pinball player. When I see them in the arcade, that they look good. They were all the way in the corner in the back of the back of the arcade. They were always in the back. They always put the money makers in the front, and then usually they beat them up or Street Fighters or Mortal Kombat. They were always in the front. But as I got older, I have learned to appreciate them more for what they bring to the home arcade space. So for me, I have two Gottlieb pinballs. I have an Arcade pinball, and I have all three Arcade1up. So I would love for them to actually add, if New Wave can actually do a VPN, that would be great. The question is, what titles would they do? I would hope we would see some of the titles that I would hope we would see the titles that you grew up with, as well as the rest of the community will get behind it and basically advocate for others along the way. So I agree with you with that. Yes, Universal Pin will kick ass side art. Things that draw you in. At Games Pinball looks like a giant console with legs. Not pretty. I have to agree, it is, but it does have a larger screen, and and it has the better effect. I think the 4K will be where we're starting to get into new VPN tables, and you can kind of see the holograms pop up where it actually looks more realistic. So I think when it comes down to it, I think I would agree the Universal Pin would have done well. And we saw the render years ago, and everybody was hoping that we were going to get one, but it didn't happen that way. So unfortunately, Arcade1up said that the parts and chips have went up in price. But it's funny that y'all could bring out a $750 Tom Francis cabinet, but you can't bring out a $650 VPN cabinet. One don't make no sense with the other, because when the VPN for Arcade1up came out, it was at $500. Same thing with Arcades, $500. So my thing is, what really changed other than inflation? So my thing is, if you can keep the price point really low at $600 or $650, I think the community could get behind it. If we go from 720 to 1080, we have a back box that can basically change the visuals in it. The little screen will be filled and it looks more realistic. Then yes, I definitely agree that we should have more competition in VPN. But right now, that game seems to be the monster right now. When you look at VPN in the home arcade space, you have to say At Games is the monster, because their specs and their parts and their the way they add more to their cabs is much better. It's way better. I mean, I don't believe in playing Mario Brothers on a pinball cabinet, but I like the versatility of it. And Arcade1up has not proven they are versatile in that. They have the imagination to pull off some things. They just got to keep the price point low enough down, so a lot of people can acquire it in their space. Because when the price point goes up, you're only going to get a few people that's going to go out there and buy it. And to me, you're basically hurting yourself in the long run. So hopefully, we'll see all the companies explode in 2024. Hopefully, we'll get a roadmap for what's coming for everybody. I think that's the one thing I would like to see change that didn't happen last year and this year, that we didn't get a roadmap. I would love to see a roadmap come. So hopefully we'll see some differences and what is to come in the play. And it's just been frustrating. I think everybody shares my frustration for what it is. I think everybody wants more than less. We definitely want to see more output than what we have received this year. I think it's been a really boring year. I think a lot of people have been saving money, paying off bills, paying off debts, taking their families out to dinner, going to the movies, go bowling, go to the amusement parks, buy new toys, new parts for cars, or buying new things. But I think we all want to stay attached to this community as a whole. We just need a reason to do that. And with all the points that the community that's basically been in the chat room, from Super Fat Hobbit to Nikki, to One Up Underground, to Constorm, we all want the same, and myself, we all are advocating for the same thing. But we are 1% of the community, unfortunately. 1%. And we are not the ones that move the needle. We could advocate, we could put out videos say not to buy at a certain price point, but people still buy it because they gotta have it. They want to be the first one with it. They want to be the first one with the video, the first one with the backstory, the first one with the review. And that's perfectly fine, but it doesn't help to get the price point where we're back before the pandemic, when Arcade1up, Unico, At Games, all of them were in the mix, and they were trying to push volumes out to us. After the pandemic, costs went up, and we have noticed that a lot of people are still buying cabinets. It's just not in high volumes. Like Daytona, I think Daytona will do really well out there. I think Turtles will do really well. I think those are volume cabinets. But license is the whole biggest thing. If they could get the license straight, that'll be great. Let's see what you got. I heard the reason Universal didn't come out with it because it only came with 3 tables. At Games was releasing their pen at the same time with more, in which it was XW, AF, Marvel tables added after. Okay, I mean that could be the case. I'm not aware of it, but I'll take your fact as actual truth. I don't believe there would have only been 3 tables on that Universal cabinet that we saw in the renders. There were a lot more tables in it. The question is to get all the license to play into it, because remember, Universal owns all the movie rights to all the titles that would have been put on it. The question is, what game are you going to promote harder on that Universal table? Are you going to promote Universal as a whole, like the Universal brand? Or are you going to promote the titles that's in it, and who are you going to push harder? Because Jaws and Back to the Future has a market space. But who has the bigger market space? Even though Jaws has fallen off after Jaws 2, I think Jaws 3 and the other one was trash. But Jaws 1 is classic. But then when you look at Back to the Future, 1 and 2 and 3 is a trilogy that goes hard in the paint. And I think that you have to look at what is more recognizable in the market space. Even though there are going to be a lot of people that will advocate for Jaws, you'll have a lot that will advocate for Back to the Future. So it's just up to Universal to dictate, would it be smart to just promote their brand and just have all the titles as a co-signer to it, or promote a particular title and then get all the other licensees to basically be supportive of it. And I think that's what it's going to have to come down to. And I don't think that's going to happen with the second part of it, that would all the other companies support one title. No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's why I think the Universal table would have done well, but I think it would have been a bunch of tables on it. Is the question is, what tables you're going to add on to the cabinet, and whether the V-pin table was able to play it correctly. I think they need to be 1080p right off the bat, because 720 is trash. We all have noticed that. It just didn't work. Even some people have upgraded they figured out how to upgrade it to 1080p, but it was burning out your chipset, or they was able to do the 30-in-1 where they were able to collapse all the tables in one and burned out the chipset. So it's all according to how Arcade1up and Universal will be able to play ball with each other and get them all to be instinct for that table to do well in a Masters. Because right now, all those tables are basically 750 and above. The side art that was leaked years ago only showed 3 licenses. That's where I got that from. Okay, I mean that's true, and I see what you're saying. But there was a video that came out. I don't know who was the content creator. I think it was Council Kids. Council Kids said that they was working on it, and there were 12 tables, including the 3 you're talking about. There were 9 extra tables added onto it. They just said he never found out what those tables were, and they said it was supposed to make that push the following year after that was supposed to be a 2020 tape, a 2020 VPN table that was supposed to be sold. But the pandemic got so bad, a lot of people wasn't really buying VPN because the price, the chipset had risen up. They basically canceled all of it. So there's a video about that. I just don't know where it's at. But if I find a link, Stupid Fat Hobbit, I will send you that link because I remember watching that podcast that day. I was watching it. I am a diehard podcast. If you put one out, I would watch just for the content alone. But I kid you not. Council Kid had made a video about that. I just don't know where it's at. It was so far back, I just don't know where it's at. But I would have to go back and look. If you give me a couple of days, I'm home because I'm on a week's vacation. I will find the content and I will send it to you. Are you on IG, Stupid Fat Hobbit? But I think I'm gonna end the show. I'm at 1 hour and 1 minute. I was only supposed to stay on for 30 minutes. I thank everybody for support, everybody for coming on and basically having a conversation with me. I might do this tomorrow. Everybody in the chat, if you want to hop on tomorrow, I'm gonna come on. I'm gonna do one more podcast for September, and more likely I'll probably be out of the area I'm at, and I'll probably be back at work. We could come on and chat for an hour and just kick it like we did it right now. But everybody can have a conversation inside of the podcast. So because I'm definitely inviting everybody. So Stupid Fat Hobbit, if you want to hop on tomorrow, 1UP Underground, you want to hop on, Constorm, you want to hop on tomorrow. I'm definitely supportive of that. If you want to hop on, and Nikki, if you have a camera, because you're the first time I actually see you in a chat, but I don't be in the chat rooms that often. If you got a camera and you want to hop on, let me know. You can hop on. I'll ping out all the link, and we can just have some fun tomorrow for like an hour or two, and we could just be talking about what we would like to expect for 2024. But that's it. If you like this kind of, what's up, 19K Fox? You're gonna have to watch this on a rerun tomorrow. If you want to hop on with me, I would be gracious to have you come in with all of us, and we just chatting about whatever, just having, how we in the barbershop, just talking about video games. So if or the new stuff that Arcade1up, New Wave, Ad Games, iArcade, Unicode. If you want to hop on tomorrow, I will send you a link. I have your IG. We're friends on IG. I will send you a link. And if you want to hop in, please hop in. Stupid Fat Hobbit, find me on IG if you want to hop in tomorrow, and I will accept your request and I'll send you a link as well. So this is the end of my live feed. I'm about to go and get me something to eat. It's hot here in El Paso. I think it's 92 degrees. It's beautiful. I'm gonna go and get me some grub. I gotta go and pay my rent. Right now because I haven't done that yet. Please like and subscribe to the channel. No problem. I got you, Battle. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content. This channel is growing. It's growing slowly. I was at 117. Now I'm at 129. It's growing. I appreciate everybody that's basically looking at me. But if I do need some helpful hints to get this channel to be better, I know it's going to take time to build an audience, but I think my editing skills has to get better. So I'm going to leave it as that. And we're at 105. And that's it. Take care, everybody. Peace. Have everybody enjoy your Friday out there.